It's the Daily Comedy News with your host, MarkinsPires. Join us for breaking headlines and all kinds of comedy shenanigans. Brought to you by The Beat Seat.
Welcome, my friends. Welcome to the longest-running daily variety show on planet Earth, day 1971 in a row. And the voice is like shot. Don't know how much singing I'm going to be doing tonight because the voice sounds like this. But it may just be jamming out tonight and more comedy. We'll see. Hope you guys are doing well. We're going to get right into the news today like we do. So make sure you join us, subscribe, turn on all notifications on YouTube, X, Rumble, all channels. Buying a home is getting more difficult. And it isn't just about the price. Let's see exactly what's going on out there. I'm a realtor, so this is a very important story to me. You can blame it on the mortgage rates, blame it on the scarce supply, but there are more than enough reasons to blame the dismal state of the U.S. housing market, which is now quantified and categorized in the Home Buyer Index by NBC News. Here are a few key takeaways from our first report. Come on, voice. The April Home Buyer Index report found nationwide difficulty to be at 82.4% out of a possible 100, a score that represents extremely tough conditions. Home buyers across the country are feeling the squeeze. 26 states have at least one county the list of 100 most difficult counties. Colorado is home to 3 of the most difficult counties in the country. I'm probably in one of the most difficult counties in the country, Fairfield County. All 3 Colorado counties have high cost and competition scores, indicating the homes are both expensive and going quickly when they hit the market. So, it's not about overall cost. It's 43 out of 100 most difficult counties. The median price is below the national average. I think it's a widespread issue that has high cost areas. It's very much across the nation. Basically, look, I'll tell you, you got low inventory. You got high mortgage rates. Anybody who had a house at 3-4% isn't interested in selling because they got such a good rate that they can't imagine trading it in for a 7 to 8% rate. And I have a few friends and clients that are telling me the same thing. Look, I'd love to sell. I just can't get anything back. Yeah, I'm going to sell it for more, but then I have to go buy something for more, and then I get less house and I'm paying more for it. That's the formula. If this is worth $500,000, which it should be, it's my game ball. 12 strikeouts. I struck out 12 that day. 3 for 3 at the bat. We won the game. And apparently it was my 10th pitching game. Anyway, I was 10 years old, 11 years old. Guys, $500,000 ball signed by MarkinsPires. And you're like, I'm going to sell it, you know? But the market's gone up on the MarkinsPires signature, which makes sense. And all of a sudden it's worth $750,000. And you're like, awesome, I'm getting $750 for my house or for my ball. Problem is when you go out to buy the Cal Ripken or the Babe Ruth, that's gone up too. And so now you're like, I want to go get a better MarkinsPires signature. Maybe I'll get the one from his first game ever. This is the first game ball, 6-0. ERA in the season was 0.000. Guys, hold on, Zabrowski. Matt Zabrowski comes out of nowhere, hits us with a woohoo. It's Friday. So this one's worth more, right? And you're like, I want to get this one. But you can't. You go sell this one. Now it's like double this to get this now, you know? And so basically people are buying. There's no more sideways trading. One of the biggest parts of the markets was the sideways trade. You sell and you just move into something a little bigger and you're paying a little bit more. But now if you want to sell, if you try to buy sideways, you're paying more for that each month. So it's a very hard time to be a buyer unless you've got extra money or you need to trade up. You have more kids and you're having twins or you're like, okay, look, we need more space. Then there's a reason that you're going to sell and move up. But we're missing 50-60% of the market. 50 to 60% of the market is not buying right now and not selling either. So what I'm seeing is my father is a builder, my brother, they're builders. And when I talk to my brother, he says that they're getting so many calls for renovations. So that to me makes sense. When you don't have people moving out, you have people just kind of updating what they have, you know. So that's where we are. Oh, man, my voice. It's shot today. Hey, Scoop, how are you? Man, I don't know. It's weird, but I've had this weird cough the last couple days. And I was telling you, it's like sometimes hard to breathe at night. It's weird. Because like I'm fine all day. And then I go to sleep and then like I wake up and it's like coughing and like trying to get breath. I've been here since day one of the, before the Plandemaroo. And I never experienced the Clovey Bovey, the Dr. Weasel Frauge. And I don't even know if this is it or has been it, but I have to say the cough is freaking weird. And it's like, why the hell can't I get over things immediately. I don't even get most of the stuff my kids get. And so I feel okay. Like I got energy. I played softball. I played a doubleheader the other day, 2 days ago. And I'm wondering if maybe that had something to do with it. But all this weird stuff. And then I'm coughing and then now I can't talk. It's like, what the fuck is going on here, man? Very odd stuff. We're also live right now on Connecticut Market Report. If you guys have not subscribed to that yet on YouTube, please do that. And then, of course, live on MarkinsPires on YouTube for the 1971st day in a row. Home supply falling short. As we know, I'm just telling you, there's really a very limited inventory right now. When I first got into the business, I remember one of my managers said, you know, in every buyer pool, every price point, there's 10 to 12 active buyers ready to pull the trigger at all times. I remember hearing that as I'm getting into this business. I'm in this for 16 years now. And I'm hearing, you know, the buyers, there's 10 to 12 in every price point. So I don't care what people say about pricing and overpriced, because back then nobody wanted to pay ask price. Everything was negotiated on before the pandemic. And so I'm here in this very, very tough market. I remember getting my license and it was right after the crash. And I walked into my first real estate office. And one of the guys is walking out. He goes, "What are you doing? We're all leaving." I said, "I'm going to learn the business while it's bad. And when it gets good, I'll be ready to rock and roll." Now, the problem was it was a terrible business for about 13 years. For 13 years, I hustled every single year just to get to have a very productive year and to be successful in the year I was in. It was always hard to sell property. And nobody paid asking price. It was very rare you got asking price. It was always like, you go on for $2 million, you're getting $1,850 after 7 months. Like that's the type of time we had. It was like nothing sold immediately unless it was a beautiful location and everybody wanted it. Outside of that, people were like, man, I'll see how that goes. Lowball offers left and right back then. So different market. But I remember my manager at the time said, look, every single price point, there's 10 to 12 active buyers. They're ready to take out the checkbook and start and just put their offer in and move. And I was like, okay, I got to remember them. That means it's always about positioning. You know, we used to have to tell people, look, you want to make sure you're positioned to be the first property people see online. So if there's 15 houses on it, $2 million, you go on at $1,995,000 and you let people see you first before they go to the other 21 houses that are on for $5,000 more. You always undercut the rest of the market when you can. If you got a completely saturated market, there's nothing you can do. You just price it where you think it's worth. But remember, there's a few things you have to understand with real estate. The most important one is that a house doesn't sell unless a buyer and a seller both agree on that valuation. So it's a conversation. Sometimes somebody wants it so badly they're paying up for it. But we used to be in a market where it was very difficult to sell homes. Couldn't sell homes. We're going to go back to that. That's the problem. People don't realize. They're like, it's a great real estate market. It's only good because there's no inventory. And the reason there's no inventory is because no one wants to trade up their 3 to 4% loan to move into a 7 to 8% loan. That's it. The only people we have that are going to be buying and selling homes for the next year to 5 years are people who are transferring jobs cross country, state to state, or you've got people retiring, moving out of state. You got first-time home buyers, and then you occasionally have somebody who has another kid and they're like, I just need more space. I don't care. I have to. I either have to put an addition on, and we're going to see it. We're going to lose a lot of people to doing that. My brother is going to start getting calls. Hey, I want to just put on another wing to my house because I can't sell my 3% mortgage out. I'm keeping this thing. Everybody else is at 8. So when I hear about how great the economy is, and I hear about how the housing market's really great, guys, it's all smoke and mirrors, just like it always is with this government. They lie and lie and lie, and they show you one thing. It's the biggest classic game of misdirection. Before I got into this, while I was doing this, while I recorded my very first album ever, and I put out 16 albums on iTunes as MarkinsPires, please check it out. But when I did my very first album, at the time I was doing all kinds of magic tricks. I could do any David Blaine magic trick with the cards, any of them. I have cards here, so I'll show you one day. There's a piece on YouTube of a magic trick, that I actually created myself. I invented the entire trick, and it's kind of a break off of somebody else. It's one of David Blaine's tricks. I just took it to a whole different level, and that's on my YouTube. But I watched David Blaine's stuff, Chris Angel's stuff for a while. I was really into the magic side of things, trying to figure out if you really can levitate, all this cool stuff. And I could make it look like I can levitate. I could do all the other stuff, but it's not something I focus on anymore. It's funny, actually, before I had kids, I was doing magic. Then when I had kids, I don't do magic anymore. Isn't that weird? Like, you think I just pull out magic cards all the time. Be like, yeah, just pick a card. You know? But I don't know why. I'm just like so focused on trying to, and that's why things are going to shift here. Like, I've been doing this 1,971 days in a row. We haven't been able to reach the world and connect. I mean, there's nobody else on earth who's shown up every day in order to put a positive message out there and just bring us together for a little while. Everybody else is trying to divide us. They're trying to feed you with negativity. It baffles me, but it also makes perfect sense. The persecution is real. Every single generation since the beginning has dealt with every person who's tried to make a difference, gets persecuted, they get completely canceled, they get suppressed, murdered, heads cut off. You know, like, you look back in time, everybody who's ever tried to make a difference dies trying to make that difference. And it's because some evil piece of shit out there kills them. Because they want their evil to continue and maintain control over this world. And you could look back, all the apostles were murdered. Valentine's Day, oh guys, that's a great day, isn't it? Saint Valentine was murdered, beheaded, for marrying people. When the king said, I don't want anybody to get married, I want them focused on the war. No banging it out. He's marrying people in secret. Chop his freaking head off. That's a good guy though, right? We're all there celebrating it. Let me get roses. Freaking St. Valentine got murdered, guys. Everybody's like, no, it's good. That's why you don't think it's, I mean, you could trace it all. John F. Kennedy was trying to do something good for this country, and he was murdered. He's trying to get rid of the central bank and bring back gold-backed currency and make them the people in charge of the money again. Murdered. Bay of Pigs, all that. He was murdered. And it was by our own. It's always by your own. One day, we're going to have the worst of worst things happen. These people have developed nukes forever. We're the only ones who've used one. And then we tell everybody else, well, but we're the only ones who've literally ever used one. I always thought that was a pretty funny thing. How we're like telling everybody else what they can do with their nukes, but we're the only ones who've ever used a nuke. And we're like, you can't do it, you can't do it, but we can. It's like, how about nobody? How about you just get rid of that freaking technology? Why do you think we've seen an uptick on visitations from the other side or from another dimension? Why do you think? It's because they're scared. These people are about to destroy everything that we know, everything that we love. And the scariest thing about it is that it will come from the inside, and then they'll blame the outside. It'll be dropped somewhere, and then we'll be like, oh my goodness, millions and millions of people die. And then our government says, oh, well, it was China, it was Russia, look, we have this data. And it's going to all be started from the inside out. These people are freaking evil, man. And the reason I believe that so firmly is because, and this is a weird thing, but I saw and you guys may say, okay, you're an idiot, Mark. I watch a lot of weird stuff, but I happened to see that alien interview. You guys ever seen that thing? People could say it's fake. I don't know. This guy's asked questions about everything. And you could say it's made up. It looks like it's done in the 50s or 60s. The footage, the whole thing looks legitimate to me. I don't know. But this alien said all these weird things that have come true and look like they may come true. And one of them talked about a weak leader about 50 years into the future who's going to do this to his own people. And I'm thinking, well, who could be, who's the weak leader who would allow something like this to happen on his own land? 4 more years. You got a guy who's brash and a businessman and tough as nails. He's told world leaders to their faces, you got to pay your fair share. You have a guy who poops a triple diaper and can't speak anymore, walks around shuffling. So if you tell me there's a weak individual who will be in charge of this country, who's going to unleash hell and destroy our country, and I'm realizing now it's not even necessarily to blame China and Russia, it's to keep power. That's why it's a concern of mine, and these people need to be watched. Where's that freaking nuclear football? Because they've tried everything else. The guy's a bumbler. They're out there just lying. Everything you see on X is about, oh, it's all Trump's fault that people want to kill their babies. And we're like, no, why don't you find someone for that baby? I still don't understand why we can't create a service that's like, hey, look, you bring your baby in. We'll help you give birth to that baby. You get out of here right afterwards. We give you $100K. All right? You take your $100K, get the hell out of here. We get the baby. You sign off the right to the baby, and we have a family who's ready to pay us $500,000 for that baby. And now we're a business making some money, but it's not for evil causes. It's actually for a good reason. You're stopping this piece of garbage over here from killing their baby. Oh, I had sex 3 weeks ago. I want to kill that child. How about you put a freaking condom on, you scumbag? It just doesn't feel right. Oh, okay. But murdering a child does, right? And you want your rights to be able to do that. Like, I think if there's something really horrible that happens, you're in a freaking alley and some scumbag comes up with something weird like that, that makes sense to me. But to use it as a contraceptive, and like you're out there promoting that, oh, it's so evil that you won't let me kill babies. Motherfuckers. It's the most evil thing in the world. It's the most evil thing in the world to just want to blanket. Let's just kill babies. There's no protection for these. That was you. That was you at some point. Imagine you're in your mother's womb and they're talking about how they want to murder you. And they want the right for you to die. And you're sitting here right now and you're like, yeah, I want that too. Don't you remember where you came from? That same womb. Wouldn't you appreciate knowing that your parents bought you for $100,000 or $500,000, whatever it was, because they really needed a child? And this company that was created, I wish I could just create it. I just think it's illegal to do it. But this company that was created said, hey, look, bring me your child. I'll give you $100K. All right? Take the $100K. Go live your life. We've got all the medical bills. They give you $100K. You go. We take the child and we find a good family for it. Oh, that's evil, Mark. That's such a bad idea. Let's just murder children instead. Let's just kill babies willy-nilly. So evil, they won't let you go and kill your baby tomorrow because you were a scumbag last week. Shouldn't be talking about this. I think everybody has the right to choose. Call your state, work it out. The government should not be involved in this. It's just how I feel. And God, that's all I'm saying. God is real. And you should... They're selling us on this whole hedonism / like paganism, you know, that you could live and do whatever the freaking hell you want. Murder, kill, steal, cheat, whatever. It's about experiencing the rush of the moment and doing whatever you want. That's the devil giving it to you guys. Remember, he's sitting on the top and he's offering the world to you. I'll give it all to you. All you got to do is spread the hate, spread the love of hate. So, I really hope people will start to think about what messaging you're hearing. When you're hearing a complete messaging of killing babies and that you should end your bloodline, which is essentially when someone tells you that they see you and that you should be something different than God made you, they're telling you, yeah, end your bloodline, dude. We don't want more of your family. You know? I see you, zebra. I see you, giraffe. Rhinoceros. I'm waiting to see the first rhinoceros. Kid walks in the school, he's like, I'm a rhino. Well, look, I could relate. I get the nose thing, you know what I mean? But like, I don't think you're a rhino. You could get some rhinoplasty if you really don't like your nose. I think it's character. I think a nice sloped big nose adds character, you know? But that's just me. You know, I'm just saying. At the end of the day, guys, I don't ever want to divide anybody with my words. I'm trying to bring us together by just saying how I feel about things. I don't want people to, you know, it's something. There's a really interesting thing. We lost my mother-in-law in February. Most amazing. She's such an amazing woman. And she said something once, because we had 2 kids, and our second one that came along was some weird things that happened. So they were like, hey, you know what, maybe you should just end with 2. You're good. You got 2 healthy kids, and no more, more kids, kitchen's closed type of thing. And so 6 years go by, and so one of my wife's other doctors is like, you ever thought about having another child? Like, you're really healthy and everything looks good, and like if you wanted to do that. And so we're like, wow, we never really thought about that. We thought we were good with 2. And my mother-in-law said to my wife, you'll never regret having a third, but you'll always regret that you didn't. And I thought that was freaking amazing. Like, just to think about it from that perspective, you'll never regret having a third child, ever. But you will always regret not. It's the freaking most powerful thing I ever heard in my life, to be honest. And I love her. I miss her to death. She's so amazing. And hopefully she's watching over all of us. But that type of wisdom, she was just classic for that wisdom. Just snapped it off. Look, you'll never regret having a third child, but you will regret not having a third child. And it's like, we never thought about having a fourth, because we were staying at 2, and then we had the third. So like, we never thought fourth, but if it was the same thing, we were like, we want to have a fourth. Like, you'll never regret having a 4th child, but you will always regret not. So remember, these lives are they give us more meaning. And you're extinguishing a meaning to yourself, to your life, by extinguishing another life that was within you. A piece of you dies, yes, but you also die. Like a huge part of you dies when you do that. You may think it doesn't, but man, it's a gift from God that you've decided to extinguish. And if it's not your time and you're not able to do it, like I said, does anybody know out there, can we start some sort of company where you just bring me your child? I'll give you $500K. 100K. I'll give you 100K. And then we find like Jesse and Jane, and Jesse's been out there. He works like long hours, and they haven't been able to put together the baby boo. They've been banging it. They've been doing lots of banging, but just no babies. And so they say, hey, you know what? We're going to go check out the MarkinsPires Family Continues Forever, business, whatever it is. We come up with a cool name, and how about it's called Don't Kill Your Baby, Let the Baby Live, and we'll give you 100K. That's the whole title. You put it on like a Google. And so they show up, baby, here you go. We take the baby. Here's 100K. Now get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? And then we take that baby. We sell it to Jesse and Jamie. They come, they're thankful. 500K later. We made 400. They got their 100. No dead babies. Right? That child becomes the president of Uganda one day. They decide to leave this freaking country. It's a piece of shit here. You know what I mean? But then they're doing it over there. Just kidding. Oh, goodness. Guys, I try to just make it a little humorous here while we go through this insane time that we're living. Uganda. So did you hear about this? A group of graduates walk out of Harvard commencement chanting, free, free Palestine. I'm just curious why everybody's such an idiot. Like, you went to Harvard and you're this stupid. Like, Harvard could somehow stop the war in Palestine or in Israel right now. You dumb freaking morons at every university. It's like Princeton, Yale, Harvard, idiots. These liberal freaking morons, they allow these stupid people that are communists essentially to walk the streets with an education from Harvard, and then they walk out at their commencement after 4 years of hard work, and they rip up their diploma. They chant free, free Palestine. Like, Harvard's gonna be like, guys, we're stopping the war in Israel. Palestine wins. Harvard did that. John Harvard's rolling around his friggin' grave, you know? He's like, what the f is going on? We only wanted the best of the best. You guys brought the most mentally challenged people you could to the university. This is our future, people, right here. Free, free Palestine. Why won't Harvard stop the war? Why won't Princeton stop the war? Oh, we're gonna sit here and have a hunger strike until Princeton stops the war. Idiots! You're friggin' morons. Why don't you go to your government instead of your university, which is where you should be getting an education to try to stop this insanity and understand what's going on with the world we live in today. Instead, you're freaking bringing us deeper into a darker place here. This is our future, people. This is our future right here. And I'm freaked out by it. I'm freaked out by it. I mean, I'm looking at this mentally. Look at this lady over here. She's got her dumb hat on. She's about to rip it up. She's got her Palestine flag. She's hanging it out. None of these people are from freaking Israel. None of them are Palestinian. They're just idiots walking around saying, oh, it was cool what happened on October 6th. They should have killed more concert goers. Stupid people. Blame Harvard, guys. Harvard didn't stop at. I don't know, I can't get the president of Harvard to stop the war in Israel because Palestine won. Palestine, it's theirs. Everybody else should be murdered. What they did on October 6th is like just the beginning. I'm telling Hamas, let's go Hamas, right? I don't watch the news, guys. The whole thing's mental to me. It's all mental. But the fact that you have people going to Harvard University and they're like, we're going to protest and walk out because Harvard hasn't stopped the war in Israel. If this is clearly paid for by George freaking Soros. You can't free Palestine. Freaking Soros. George Sorable, they call him. You know? Like, look, you guys want to go to Harvard and then you want to walk out at the commencement and scream out, free, free Palestine, because Harvard wasn't able to get your goal of completing the transition and murdering everybody from Israel and then just like inserting, you know, the Palestinian people as that's it, everyone else is dead. Look, this is disgusting. This is disgusting. I don't understand why everybody can we do a Rodney King? Can't we all just get along? Like, your religion is why we're gonna murder each other? Mental. This is why all religion is freaking, it's corrupt. It's all corrupt. Nobody out there has kept the original message from the Lord. Nobody has kept the original message from God, from Yahweh. As I continue to say his name every time I breathe. And you too. The ultimate prayer. But we're not living the way that we were meant to. Tell me, where in the messaging out there do you see that we're supposed to help one another, lift each other up, to guide each other through hard times? Do you see that in the world today? Or is it, oh, someone's different than you, hate them, divide from them? That's your enemy. That's your enemy right there. Don't you guys know that? You know, hate that person, hate them. But when you see that person at Home Depot, or you see them at the food store, you have great conversations with people you don't know about their political ideology. Nobody freaking cares. We have conversations about people and you don't talk about the 5 subjects our parents told us to never speak about in public, which is all they ever jam down our throats. Religion, politics, money, gender, I guess killing babies is like the 5th. But like, that's all they talk to us about is the things they know divide us. You ever thought about that? Or is this like, I keep bringing it up, but do you guys think about that at all? That everything you scroll and see is negative? I don't know who's calling me, guys. Give me a second here. this is when it gets to this time in history where you're getting phone calls from people trying to sell you things. Oh, this is Todd from Luxury Presents. I get it, buddy. You want to sell me something. Free Palestine, I told him, and then I hung up. Can you hear me now? All right, good. Yeah, so basically, free Palestine. You know, they're doing it there at Harvard because Harvard hasn't done what they need to do in order to stop the war. It's their fault. It's all Harvard's fault, guys. I can't believe you don't know that. And I'm going to do a hunger strike. I'm going to stand here and I'm going to scream free Palestine. And I'm applauding Hamas. They did a good thing. It's really good. I'm sorry, chip my nail. Does anybody have any snacks? Snacks aren't eating. It's not the same. I'm talking about meals. When I said hunger strike, I meant like no meals. I could snack though. Anybody have any Takis? Freaking Takis. You know? Guys, Marilyn Mosby, she was sentenced to a year of home detention for perjury and mortgage fraud. Well, who the freaking hell is Marilyn Mosby, Mark? Who's that? Former Baltimore State's Attorney, Marilyn Mosby, sentenced Thursday to 1 year of home detention for her perjury and mortgage fraud convictions. Guys, they're hiring the best. Diversity, equity, inclusion. DEI, they call it. If you want to see this story, let me see who's with me over here because you're awesome for kicking it. Nikki, how are you? Jenny McCall. If you guys head over to YouTube, you're going to see former Baltimore State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby over my shoulder. We read the stories together. I try not to do anything political, but guys, the world is pretty messed up. You know what I mean? I'm demonetized everywhere, so what the freaking hell does it matter anyway? Right, guys? You know, we should really not care. Patreon me if you guys want to support the show. Patreon.com/MarkPires. Here we go. Marilyn Mosby, if that's your real name. U.S. District Judge Lydia K. Grigsby handed down a sentence of 3 years of supervised release, opting against sending Mosby to prison. Of course not. They don't want to send their kind to prison. Prosecutors had sought 20 months in prison. I would have sought more. You know, Baltimore State's Attorney, fraud, mortgage fraud, perjury. It's just like slap on the wrist. No bail, right? 2024. Grigsby's decision followed an approximately 4-hour hearing during which prosecutors asked for prison time and Mosby's lawyers requested probation. Look, guys, she didn't know what she was doing. I think we should let her slide. She was a state's attorney. Just that little thing, the perjury, mortgage fraud thing, just kind of slipped her mind, you know, and like how things work. So I think you should give her another chance to run the state. What do you guys think? What? Prison time? No, come on. You know, really? It's just perjury and mortgage fraud. Judge, I'm going to ask you to really search your soul on this one, you know? We're talking about Marilyn Mosby here. You know her. You played golf with her, you know? Remember you went to her daughter's quinceañera. Jail is not just a sentence for Ms. Mosby, her family, or community. He also said sending Mosby to prison would inflict extraordinary trauma. You know what? Like there was no trauma on her end when she stole and perjured herself. On her daughters, oh, well, you know what? I'm sure that every time someone goes to jail, they're concerned about the child and children of that piece of garbage who broke the law. Right? They do that, right? They're like, look, he's got kids, guys. Yeah, he stole the loaf of bread to feed the kids. But guys, he stole, murder him, death row. You go death row because you stole a loaf of bread. John Valjean. Empty chairs at empty tables, right? We're doing it together. Marcio, I think his name is. I forget. I only saw the movie once. Jean Valjean. I'm trying to remember other songs from it. I just can't, you know. I did remember the one, though, Empty Chairs. Here we go. Maintaining her innocence, Mosby declined the opportunity to speak in the court. She's like, I didn't do anything wrong. I took the money. Yeah, I perjured myself. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm a state's attorney. I'm above the law. She believes she's above the law, and that's why she did nothing wrong, you know. Mosby. Guys, when you get the DEI, you're set in there. They're like, look, we want to make sure we got the right lady in there. She's a talent. I'm sorry? Yeah, no, a talent at robbing and perjuring herself. But she's definitely, there's talent there. So let's give her one more chance, guys. Baltimore maybe wasn't good for her. Do you want to move her to Shigigi? Let's move her to Shigigi. I think we should do that one. Shigigi, Pennsylvania. You know, I'm thinking. Shigigi. They need a new state attorney there. At the State House in Shigigi. Mosby was the state's attorney when she perjured herself and committed mortgage fraud. Guys, let's hear a little bit more about it. Federal public defender James Wida noted none of Mosby's crimes related to her role in office. Guys, she was doing it on her own accord. Like, it didn't have anything to do with the constituents and their property, their mortgage. You know, this is her personal fraud. You know, so you should totally think about it differently. Like, let her keep her job. You know? She'd punished enough. He said that she'd been punished enough because she'd lost her job. Guys, she lost her job. Isn't that enough of a punishment? She can't go there and do it again? Like, that should be good. Let her go. She's got kids. Likely to have her license revoked and endured a grueling trial that put her private life into the limelight. I want to watch that footage now. Jail is not just sentenced to Miss Mosby. Oh, we already did this part. You know, Joanne, can you please do me a favor and move the screen a little bit further up so together we're doing it? What the freaking heck? Why didn't I have you in there, Joanne? Oh my goodness, Joanne. Did you have to drop a douche in there? We're doing it. Well, Joanne, what did you eat? Oh, that's just disgusting, really. Pig's feet? Come on, Joanne. Is that the pig's feet we threw out from last Christmas? Oh gosh, you know, she's in the trash again. Joanne. Non-human entities. They're really doing interesting things. That's all I can say. Ahead of sentencing, Mosby made several appearances on the news programs, professing her innocence. Guys, mortgage fraud's okay, right? Jim, you did it. You told me about it. You know, like she's out there getting the pat on the back from her fellow colleagues. Yeah, I did it too. Mosby, you're onto something here. Just don't get caught. We didn't get caught. You got caught. You know, guys, DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, we should all get caught. So we're not leaving Mosby on her own there, because she did it, but we do it. And we just didn't get caught. Yeah, so maybe we should also get caught. So together we're being included, and there's equity within the inclusion of the diversity. I'm just saying, it's something you should consider. Marilyn Mosby is unremorseful, guys. She doesn't even give a, you know what I mean? She's like, I did nothing wrong. She had no regard for the truth, Delaney told Grigsby, who ultimately will determine Mosby's punishment. Separate federal juries convicted Mosby on perjury and mortgage fraud after 2 trials held in the Greenbelt. Former state's attorney asked that they be moved from Baltimore. Guys, I cut this piece of wood. And then I glazed it. I was thinking about making a plaque out of it. It's in the way right now, just pointing that out. In November, jurors determined that Mosby lied about suffering financial consequences because of the corona pandemic, an assertion that enabled her to withdraw roughly $80,000 from her city retirement account early. Yeah, hi, who am I speaking with? Oh, Donald, hi, how are you? Yeah, Marilyn Mosby, state's attorney, Baltimore. Yeah, that's right. I saw you at the Christmas party last year. Yeah, the pig feet. That's right. We had him. Listen, I'm here. I'm just trying to figure out, you know, mortgage fraud. Are you in or are you out? You know? Oh, my goodness. She took $80K. Donald, yeah, no, it's it's me again, Marilyn. Look, 80K. Can you pull that from my retirement account, please, and just send it to me? Yeah, no, it's good. No, I sign off. Like, we're good, you know. I spoke to the people on the, my immediate manager told me, you can take whatever the freaking hell you want, Marilyn. DEI. I'm talking about diversity of equity and inclusion, Donald. And that comes to my money as well. I want it diversified, and I want equity. I want my equity right now. Yeah, no, you can include that as well if you want. Yeah, no, thanks, Donald. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, I'll see you at this Christmas party too next year, of course. No, I'm not making pig feet this time. Joanne just ate the last ones. Okay, Donald. Yeah, thanks. 80K. I'm looking for the wire. Donald, where's the wire? No, I know it was a good show, but where's the wire that I need for this, you know? Anyway, gotta go. Yeah, thanks, Donald. Guys, Donald will talk your ear off, you know? In court Thursday, Grigsby asked Delaney whether there are victims in the case. The lenders who provided loans to Mosby took no action when they learned she lied on her mortgage applications, and the money she used to put down payments on the Florida properties came from her own retirement account. Delaney said the citizens of Baltimore are the victims because Mosby committed perjury while she was the city's top prosecutor. I agree. It hurts the public when public officials are found to have lied under oath. Delaney also said the crimes are more serious because Mosby's work as a prosecutor shows that she knows the importance of truth. Or she knows of it, just doesn't give a freaking hell about it. You know what I mean? She's like, I know about it, I just don't care about it. You know what I mean? Like, you follow rules for thee. Yeah, not for me. Marilyn Mosby does not care about facts, does not care about the law, does not care about the truth, Delaney said. In our country's courtrooms, the truth still matters. Before the sentencing Thursday, Grigsby granted the request from prosecutors ordering that Mosby give up her Florida condo. We're taking that condo away from you, Mosby. The city judge cited Mosby's mortgage fraud conviction in ruling she relinquished the property, noting that jurors in February found she lied in the loan application for the condo by falsifying a letter promising she would be gifted $5K to the close of the property. The mortgage was obtained by Miss Mosby, because Miss Mosby obtained the gift letter. One of Mosby's lawyers, public defender Maggie Grace, asked Grigsby to put a hold on the forfeiture of the property pending Mosby's appeal of her mortgage fraud conviction. Judge said the government had to return the Mosby payment on the property, which amounted to 10% of the cost and 10% of the condo's appreciated value since she bought it. According to those estimates, Mosby's property nearly doubled in value to almost $890,000. So she's a scumbag. She got caught. This is a 9,000-page freaking, like, what are we talking about here? Mosby. Crump, hold on a second. Oh, goodness, here we go, guys. During a brief lunch break, well-known civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump You know, I was just thinking about Who's Harry Crumb? One of the best movies ever. John Candy. Go check that one out. They spoke outside the courthouse reading the remarks from the court, and Crump said, other white-collar crimes have been met with a slap on the wrist. You know, it's because she's black that she's being treated so harshly. What is different here today is that underneath that white collar is the neck of a black woman who dared to challenge the status quo by robbing and perjuring and being a mortgage fraud piece of garbage. But, you know, there's like slapping on the wrist. You know, it's because she's black that she's being ridiculed. Benjamin Crump, you scumbag piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, everything's racist, right? Benjamin Crump. I can't stand it. I just can't. Like, I grew up in a world where we weren't racist anymore. In the 1990s, two of my 10 best friends were black. I hung out with them almost every day. Jermaine, freaking loved Jermaine. I haven't seen him in years. That was my buddy. I never saw color. Color doesn't exist. We're all one single color, and we're just shades of that color. And you're all lied to on a daily basis. Unfriggin' real. No, Mark, you're white. Am I? I don't think so. Because this is white, and I'm not even freaking close to that color. Not Portuguese, whatever the hell that means. Mosby served 2 terms as Baltimore State's attorney, guys. Probably robbed us blind during that, 2 terms. Plans to appeal her convictions and seeking a full pardon from President Sleep Sofa Joe Biden. The Congressional Black Caucus urged Biden to pardon Mosby. And then he crapped his diaper and said, my Aunt Judy told me to shave my white hair on my legs. He doesn't like it when people are rubbing their hair on his legs anymore. He used to like that, not anymore. He likes it when they sit on his lap, though, still. That he still likes. Office of Biden nominated U.S. Attorney Maryland Eric Barron, who led Mosby's prosecution. During his argument, Delaney sought to dispel claims of ulterior motives underlying Mosby's prosecution. Well, guys, I mean, when you're a scumbag and you're writing fake gift letters, taking $80K out of your retirement account, that's on you. It has nothing to do with what's under your white collar, okay? Because your skin color is the same as mine, just of a different shade. It's freaking mental. What the hell is wrong with everybody? Man, I feel like the world could get over everything if they were all like, yeah, we're one color. We're just like shades of that color. And we'd be like, holy freaking cow. Wow, so why do they say the other things? Oh, hatred, division, religion, politics, money. I wonder why that's all I see on my For You page. The only things that divide us. Simple, silly. Nailed it. Been nailing it since 1978, Guys. Daily since December 31st, 2018. And I throw a pick every time we write a song. Speaking of, I think we've had enough news for the day. See? S-Coop. But I don't think that's true. I think that we're all just one color. I think we're all just shades. And that's proof, S-Coop, that we all come from the same thing. Because if you're not, but your kids are, it just goes to show we all came from one thing and we just become this melting pot. And that is the most beautiful thing. The most beautiful thing in the world. I'm just sick of the division behind it all. Like, oh, you're bad because of your skin. It's like, what? How stupid. What kind of stupid mindset is that? Who the heck goes through their life thinking about that stuff? And the problem is because it's there and it's in the forefront and all they do is talk about it, it's a conversation that shouldn't even be had. There's always going to be people that are ignorant. There's always going to be people that are stupid out there. And they are just like, they're only used to saying they're kind, whatever the freaking hell. But it doesn't mean we change the world and just all of a sudden believe the whole world is corrupt and that everybody's bad because they don't look like me. It's stupid. And it's like, especially as the guy who's been live every day for 5+ years trying to get every soul here. I see the color of your heart. I don't see your freaking skin. I see how you treat people. I'm looking for light to come out of people. And that's it, That's why I gravitate towards how people treat me. Well, isn't that the reality for everybody? Gravitate towards the people that make you feel good. When they smile at you, when they talk to you. It's not about how they look. We all look different. That's the beauty of life. There's nobody out there that's you. There's doppelgangers, but there's nobody out there that's you. There's only one. There will never be another you. And it's like, oh, I should hate you for being so unique. It just seems counterintuitive to reality. We're designed to be one of a kind. And then we have this society set up to hate anything that's different than you. And it's like, well, guys, that means that none of us are going to get along. Because we were all designed to be so amazing and different and unique. Oh my goodness, Supersize Me director dead at 53. Morgan Spurlock. Cancer, poor guy. He was great. You guys remember Supersize Me? He went and ate McDonald's for a month or for a year or something. He was this health. This is what's weird to me. Maybe that hurt him when he did it. Mark Pires, how are you, my friend? So good to see you. Oh, man. Mark, when are we going to have our conversation, buddy? So, guys, I appreciate you, especially when you let me get into these conversations. Again, just the simple reality that I think we always have to keep at the forefront when we hear all these lies and this narrative of division There's nobody out there that's you. There's nobody out there that's going to think and feel exactly what you feel. You're going to find people that agree with certain things you stand for, and you're going to connect with those people. But there's nobody out there that's going to be the same as you. So don't buy this line that uniqueness is a bad thing and that you should divide from people that think differently from you and don't believe the same things as you. That's the beauty of life. We used to have conversations and say, look, I don't agree with you, but this is how I feel. And I hear what you're saying. I understand your point. People can't do that anymore. They just call everybody crazy and yell at each other. And then they fight and murder each other. It's weird. And this is extremely designed. This isn't something that just happens. This is designed. And then every single day they hit the playbook. You guys see it. If you go to X right now and you just scroll, all you see is this gaslighting. How the last guy who was president is going to destroy democracy. And he's going to take over the country. And he's going to be a dictator. And he's going to be Hitler. And I'm like, I just have to laugh. The guy was in office for 4 years. We had a really strong economy. He said a lot of stupid things on Twitter. What am I missing? No genocide, no new wars. What am I missing here? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not taking your gaslight. I didn't allow it to affect me the way you wanted it to with your bullshit. That's just a constant, over and over. Evil man, orange face. It's like policies were good, man. Policies were good. We had mortgage. As a real estate agent, I was selling houses that had 3.5% to 4% mortgages. I don't like this guy because he's destroyed my real estate business. You guys can vote for him tell me why you would vote for this guy for another 4 years. I want to know. What reasoning? Gas prices, 74% higher than it was when the last guy left office. Inflation, everything is through the roof. Houses, there's nobody listing their houses. Why would I want more of this? Why would I want the destruction of America? This is amazing to me. You guys buy all the BS. More jobs than the last guy. They fired all the people while the last guy was leaving. And then they rehired them and they tell you that they're new jobs and you believe it? Oh yeah, just all of a sudden for 15 million random new people that's right, well, 15 million random new people just came over the border, so I guess that makes sense. You're giving them debit cards, housing. Who's okay with this? When you got people, you have veterans living on the streets. You have homeless people all over the place, American citizens that are homeless. Those people our government cares nothing for. They care about people coming over the border that are going to be able to vote in their election that's coming up. It's pretty clear. That's why they work so hard now to get people who don't have the right to vote, the right to vote. No ID. Why wouldn't you want ID? I don't understand that. You need an ID to go buy alcohol. You need ID to go buy tobacco. But you don't need ID to place a vote for the next president of the United States of America? Oh, that's right. Black people they're not able to get ID is what their pitch is. This is what the Democrats say. Do you know that? That's what they say. That black people aren't able to get ID. Everybody has to have an ID. Everybody has an ID. Skin color means nothing about getting an ID. This is the whole point. You have these people who try to tell you that they're for you, but they're just trying to steal to keep power so they can keep you suppressed and keep you down while they continue to reap the benefits of being in charge. And it's like, I said this earlier, again, I don't want to get too much into it, but I saw freaking Chuck Schumer said something about the border again, about how it's the strongest bipartisan bill ever. And I'm like, bipartisan means both sides are on. When you keep saying the Republicans keep shooting it down, but it's bipartisan. Bipartisan means everybody's on board. So the fact that you're saying bipartisan points gaslighting. You're just gaslighting everybody. Oh, well, it's the Republicans. No, it's not bipartisan. When you say okay to 5,000 illegal aliens coming in every single day, that is not bipartisan. Barack Obama said during his time in office, you can't have 1,250 coming in a day. He didn't want 1,250 in a day. And this current president and all of his people are saying, hey, this is bipartisan to allow 5,000 in every day. There's nothing bipartisan about this. This is extremely partisan. They want to destroy the country by keeping power, getting votes, forcing a vote, by not allowing people to vote properly. And you could say what you want. I'm going to get in trouble for saying this probably. All I'm saying is that keep your eyes open. We did last time, but you can't talk about things. When you do, you get canceled. It's amazing. You know that you're right when you say something and you're canceled for saying it. They don't cancel people for saying the wrong thing. They allow that stuff to stay out there, to keep people going down rabbit holes. They only pull down the stuff that's accurate. They only keep the accurate stuff from you. You know? So, I don't know. It's scary. It's scary. Everybody has an ID. There's nobody walking around out there that doesn't have an ID right now. If they're an American citizen, they have an ID. They could be from any part of this country, any state. You get to a certain point and you get a license, you have an ID. So if you're an American citizen, when you turn 16, you get a license, 17 some places maybe, you get an ID. Some people have passports, but they don't want you to have anything? Like what? Why wouldn't you? There's only one reason you wouldn't want that, is so you can fix whatever you want, to do whatever you want. And this is like what baffles me. You have the American people like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. No, just say no to that. Just say no, you gotta have an ID. Very simple. And then everybody feels good about it. But no, it's not what they want. They want you to say, okay, fine, we'll let you have that too. They get away with freaking murder, man. It's unbelievable. And we just allow it. Like this thing I played you last night or 2 nights ago, the fake debates I did a few years ago as Trumper and Biden. And it's just live improv comedy, but it's dead on what happened during the last time they got together. And, you know, it's just, they push these unfair scenarios on us, and then we have to just go along. Like you got the former prez, and he's going to have to go heads up against the guy on their rules. He has to follow their rules. They're going to ask all the questions. And I told you, it's going to be exactly like my bit. They're going to be like, to Biden, they're going to be like, what's your favorite color? And to Trump, they'll ask him what the safest trip is to Indonesia, what route to take, and if there's any gorillas along the way that they have to be prepared for. Like, they'll just ask him the most ridiculous things. It's unfair. And we just have to take it. And we say, oh my God, we're watching this charade on a daily basis where we're treated with kid gloves, and they tell us what they want, and they think, oh, look, they're believing it. And the people that are like, are you freaking kidding me? Are shut down. That's the bottom line. Everybody else is like, I don't know, well, I guess it's the government. They probably have my best interest. Yeah, in heart, right? This isn't a now thing. This is a forever thing. I feel like since the beginning, whoever's been in charge has just been like, we run it, and you are our slaves. In a weird way, you know what I mean? I don't look at this. The world is full of major distractions while the biggest wealth transfer to the 1% is happening right under our nose. That's what Pires tax goes said. That's my buddy. You're given a social security number at birth, yep, and then a QSIP. A QSIP number, I think is what it's called. And that account is filled with so much money, and they take our money, basically, you know, and they use it for things. And our mortgages and loans are provided by that money. And we don't have access to it, though. That's the weird thing. Freaking weird. For our vessel, yeah. I really want to get someone on who can explain to me, is there a real way to get access to our account? Anyway, guys, I'll try to be back later. My son has a baseball game late. It's a playoff game, so it could wind up being a late night. If so, I'll be on like super late. I'll try my best to be on somewhere around 11. Barella, Modoc, Roughstock, S-Coop, Trish Killian, Mark Pires, my friend. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you later on. I have to get out of here in 10 seconds, it looks like. So here's the outro, and I will be heading out. I'll see you guys later.